Soccer for people with cerebral palsy has been popular as a team sport since the early 1980s, and competitions have been held in major games and international competitions since 1978 in Scotland. A soccer competition is being held in Atlanta in '96 as part of the Paralympic Games programme, and similar events were held in Seoul and in Barcelona. Soccer is an international game. It gives pleasure and enjoyment to all who take part. It is a popular sport and is played as a recreation activity as well as a high-level competitive sport. It gives ambulant sports people with cerebral palsy the opportunity to play together. What is cerebral palsy? Cerebral palsy is a brain lesion which is non-progressive and causes variable impairment of the coordination, the tone and the strength of muscle action. This results in an inability of the person affected to maintain normal posture and in some cases to perform normal movements. The condition can be congenital or in some cases it can be acquired.
The last decade it has been demonstrated that sport for CP's athletes is no longer contradictory, especially when the training and the preparation are done on a proper way. There seems not to be a bad influence on the spasticity. And soccer, I think, is a good example of a good sport for CP athletes. When training is done on a proper way, we even see that the skills of the athletes is getting better and better without influencing the spasticity.
The coach will need to determine the various capabilities of all the players before arranging appropriate programs, and all players must be involved in the activity workout.
In a normal training session we always start with warming up. It's very important, especially for soccer players with cerebral palsy. It takes a long time, about 15 till 20 minutes, to warm up the muscles. And after that we always do practice who has a relation with the game. We had play or we have to play. All the training we do is useful for the match.
A warm-up is essential before any practice or coaching session takes place. The warm-up should be gentle, and during it certain exercises should be encouraged. Exercises such as stretching in order to ensure that muscles are warm, and running should be encouraged together with many other exercises. Care must be taken not to overstretch the muscles, and care must also be taken to fit exercises to different players according to their ability. The practices should include some technical exercise to improve the skill level of each performer, ball familiarity exercises and small-sided games together with functional practices that stimulate game situation. They also form part of the build-up practice. Set play situations from corners, free kicks also form part of the practice. Classification. An important part of any competition is to ensure that players can compete on equal terms together with similar disabilities. CP ISRA have devised a classification system which seeks to ensure, where possible, that fair and equal competition does take place. Soccer is for ambulant players, and within the CP ISRA system, players in the classes 5, 6, 7 and 8 are eligible to compete. The technical competence and skill level can be achieved and in many cases is very high. Normally, the Class 5 player will find running over distances difficult, and with the ability to take and catch, he may be suited to goalkeeping. There may be some difficulty in quick turns or spins. Class 6 players usually have more control than Class 5 players, but all four limbs may show functional ability in sports movements. Some control movements in the upper body are noticeable, but running with moderate coordination is possible and is better in many cases than the normal walking gait. The Class 7 player will normally be affected on one side of their body, but will display excellent control on the opposite side. When running or playing, the limp on the affected side will often disappear. Training can improve this pattern of movement. However, in some fast movements, the player can experience some restrictions. The Class 8 player exhibits a minimal impairment in movement, and this is most noticeable in running, turning and tackling. Laws of the game. FIFA rules apply with certain amendments for CP soccer. The first change concerns the size of the playing pitch. The dimensions are 75 metres by 55 metres. The second change is the size of the goalposts. The posts are 5 metres by 2 metres. The third change is with the throw-in. A single arm throw may bring the ball into play from any player. The fourth change is the offside rule. There is no offside rule in CP soccer. The fifth change is with the goalkeeper, who after receiving the ball may parry it and take 4 steps to clear the ball from his area. The final change concerns the pass back to the goalkeeper. This is allowable even when the ball has left the penalty area. The full rules of CP ISRA 7-a-side soccer are contained in the rules manual, which is updated every 4 years. For information on this film and on the development of the game, you need to contact Bob Fisher, CP ISRA Soccer Coordinator. The remaining part of this film will show excerpts from the European Championships held in Nottingham in 1995 and of the final between the world champions, the Netherlands, and the team from Russia.
En uit jongens, uit! Wat is van dat pestpoortje niet? Goed Jaapie! Goed Jaapie! Lekker gedaan jongen! Mag naar!
Come on, Sasha! That was a good move! Good in it! Oh! Well played! Come on!
Tijd! Andere kant! Ja! Goed zo! Die raakt af! Wat is het uit? Ja! Binnen schuiven, naar binnen schuiven! Kom op hier! Willen steun! Hey! Half graag hè! Weg jongens! Help hem! Hij vindt nou aan de boer! Nee. Willy! Handen! Gaat niet zo diep, jij! Rust, rust! Ga binnen! Ga lopen! Rust!
Kom en dan los. Geen woorden zijn van
Helpie! Kom aan! Kijk!
Не надо, больше не снимай пока.
Спейтers! Haakje, Willy! Beweging van binnen!
Ты поснимай пока с плеча, если будет первый гол.
Сзади вот держи! Schieten!
Daar!
Ik ga binnen!
Ja, die nacht gaat hij niet wel.
Die stuitenbeurs gaat in die bal! Zakbal! Hey! Kom op, Jan!
Ook niet door.
Hand in de rug.
Nou, ver.
Andere kant. Jullie staan daar zitten,
Pero prefiero beber vino.
Komt er weer eentje daar.
demasiado.
Komt-ie! Komt-ie! Oh! Diep!
Igual que baila el mar, con los delfines.
I wouldn't look like at the ground.
Kom aan vanuit, strijd! Miesje, hangen blijven!
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you will agree that has been an exceptionally fine final, and world champions have come out on top in this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain of the Netherlands coming forward to receive the cup and the Netherlands team.
Congratulations.